So the same as what we did in class, lads. I'm going to find roughly the centre of the page and give myself an XY line. In fact, I'm going to mark that in a little heavier. Might as well see it. And my YY line is again roughly the centre of the page. I'm marking this in quite heavy so it can be picked up on the camera, lads, but you will be drawing these in construction lines. So, to draw the front elevation, that's the wide portion of the house that we marked today, face A. We know that that is going to be 70 millimeters long. Okay, so I mark off 70 millimeters in this quadrant. And I can draw in these lines, and like we always do, we project them on down to our plan. Alright? So project those lines right down. Okay. We know that the front wall of the house is 40 millimeters off the ground in that drawing. So mark in 40 millimeters. And this line gets projected across to our end view as well. Okay, so I already have this line in my elevation that gets projected across to the end view, and I have the baseline of the house which sits on the XY line. A couple of you are drawing your elevations above the XY line. The elevation always sits on the XY line, lads. So that line there, the elevation always sits on that. And we can just draw in our side walls. They're projected down in construction line. We can put them in heavy and our elevation. There we go. Now we can't, as we talked about in class, we can't yet draw in the height of our roof because we don't know it yet. So we're going to come down and draw the plan in. We know one line can just be drawn in there. And we know that the width of the house is 50 millimeters. Okay, so use 50 millimeters. And draw that line in. I can draw that in heavy. That's the outline of the plan. What we don't have in the plan compared to our model sits there, we don't have this line, the ridge line. We're going to figure that out in the next step of the process. So, as we are looking in elevation, it's going to look that way. So that's our first face. In plan, we're looking straight down on top of the ridge line. The end view is of this face here. So we're looking in from this face, which means it's going to be projected like that. So we draw in a 45-degree line, project these lines across from the plan. We're actually done now with our ruler. We don't have to measure anything else to complete this drawing. Pick up the point, project up. Pick up the point and project up. Now, we know that our height line can meet up for our end elevation, our end view. And we know from our drawing that here up to the ridge line, the pitch line of the roof is 135 degrees. So in here is 135 degrees. We know here to here is 90 degrees. The remainder of that is 45, so we know it's 45 degree pitch on the roof, and we know that both sides are the same. So I can draw in one light construction line on that side, and then picking up this point here, height of the wall, I can draw in one side of the pitched roof, and then I can fill in this line as a heavy line. What you find about that is that if we bring these both up at the same angle, this point will be bang on in the center of this line. Okay, so we know we don't have to measure anything else. We know that now know the height of the house. We can take it across from this point here, and we know that that is the height in elevation as well as end view. So we've got our elevation, looks like that. Got our end view, remember we're looking at it from this side, so it's projected that way. Looks the same. Now we need to know where the ridge line is on the plan. We know it's in the center, but instead of measuring that, we can simply project down from our end view until it strikes a 45 degree line, and we can project that line across. Once we're happy with where that is, we can draw it in heavy. And that's our plan. Just to complete the drawing, that is view A. The end view is surface B, and the plan is C. Keep the annotation neat. And we know that this here is our XY line.